And we are live. Hey guys, I'm Wolfie. This is Poggy. And today we are going to talk some 49ers versus Bears, some NFL week predictions, and then we got some awesome subjects on the docket. There's a lot of talk right now about Kyle Shanahan being traded. Not like rumors of being traded, but just talk. Everyone's talking up like, should we or should we not? Injuries, of course, because that's the story of the season. Is Brock Purdy the guy for the 49ers? Is the season over? Poggy has an interesting opinion on that one. And then we're going to talk about the top prospects in the NFL draft. I don't know a lot about that right now. I'm not going to lie to you, but that's going to be Poggy's department. I do have some opinions on these top prospects. Shadur Sanders, the Michael Myers running back guy. Can't remember his name.
Ashton Jeanty, yes.
Ashton Jeanty, and then who was the other quarterback? There was another player. Travis Hunter, not quarterback. Travis Hunter. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, Travis Hunter.
Okay. And before we get to that, hit that sub button, like away, do your thing. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. And yeah, so we just keep the conversation going because that's what this channel is all about. Okay, so let's get the big one out of the way, I think. Not the Kyle Shanahan one, but just like the big talk one I feel like we could talk about for a long time, which is the season over? And then after that, towards the end, we'll get like injuries, but I digress. So we'll talk about, is the season over? We got Sam in the house, Wolfie and Poggy in the house.
Sam?
Thank you. All right. So, Poggy, is the season over?
I'm going to go with yes. I don't think we're going to, like I said, I felt like we had a chance last weekend, but after the last two games, seeing us lose the way we did, that's the two worst losses in how many years? I think I read an article. It's not just getting dominated like that, but those are the two worst losses, I think, in the NFL in 30 years, or maybe for the 49ers in some odd years.
Okay, for the 49ers. I was like,
yeah.
The
There's some teams that have been dominated, yeah. But, I mean, those are the two worst losses for the 49ers in a really long time. And it's not just who we're playing. We played a couple good teams, but
the Bills and Packers.
Yeah, but it's also the injuries we have, and we're just not able to fill in those positions, and we're still dealing with those injuries. So I just feel like with moving forward with those injuries, I don't think Purdy's playing at 100% right now, and I don't think we're able to keep moving it forward. I think it's just, it is what it is. Injury bug got us this year. I'm not,
more than that, to be honest with you. I disagree with you. I don't think season's over. The fellow family members of this show, of this channel, also know that I don't think the season's over because, but I'll get to that in a second. Like, it's more than just injuries, man. It's like personal tragedies, right? And I'm not trying to bring
a lot
up
of stuff, off the field.
Yeah, that's part of it. The curses, I don't really big fan of curses, but like the signs were there. The 17-0, we were favorites every single game this year before the season started. Then what was the Madden curse, of course, and the Super Bowl hangover, the holdouts. I mean, I can't think of one thing that goes wrong for a team that didn't happen to the 49ers. Everything has gone wrong for the 49ers is like everything possible. So I do agree with you that injuries and things of that nature is fucking terrible. Like it's something you never like. People thought the 49ers in 2020 was a good excuse to be like, okay, they were injured. It makes sense. Everyone gets a pass. Let it go. But for some reason this year, everyone's like, you don't get a pass when it's like the worst fucking thing that's ever happened to any team on the planet. I mean, I've asked people this. Give me a team that's been through worse at any period of time in the NFL. I can't think of one. Not one fucking team. It is like everyone deserves. The only people in my eyes that do not deserve a pass this year is Deebo Samuel and that's it. Just Deebo Samuel. Honestly, Deebo Samuel is the only person in my eyes that does not get a pass. So I think that we should all just hold back a little bit and not think of this season as this person's fault, this person's fault, this person's fault, this person's fault. No, it's literally things outside of this person's control. We have to be realistic. I think we're just so much in our emotions. I feel like that we're so like, okay, this was supposed to be our Super Bowl year, then it was taken from us. So then we're starting to overreact and take everything a little too personal.
Yeah, I think it is what it is. I mean, you can't. There's nothing. It was out of their control. There's not a whole lot. It wasn't in anybody's hands this year. There was nothing that a coach did wrong or a player did wrong. It's just injuries, off the field thing. There were so many different variables that happened this season that it was just not meant to be. I mean, even if we make the playoffs, we're not going to go in healthy. We're probably a one and done. I mean, I don't see us making it at this point. So,
Strawberry in the house.
Yeah, I just don't see us winning out at this point. I think some of the teams in the West are staying healthy. They're playing better football than we are. So, yeah.
Matthew in the house. I am
Matthew.
Thank you for asking. Val in the house.
What's up, Val?
This house is getting full, y'all. It started around the Super Bowl. Force's wife died a week before the Super Bowl, and all went downhill from there. That's what I thought too when I first saw that. I was like, Jesus, this is how far back this shit goes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it goes back. Yeah.
Damn, dude. Welcome back, Matthew. Welcome back. Go 49ers. I'm here. Hey, it's good to see you. It's good to see you, Val. Forster, not Forster. Stupid. Oh, it's okay, dude. Like, I understand, man. I do.
We know who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I don't think the season's over because you still have the Bears who are in turmoil, right? You have the Dolphins still trying to figure things out. Rams are starting to collapse a little bit. Them being the Saints was predictable. Okay, that was something we predicted in the roadmap to make the playoffs. And we can beat the Cardinals. There's still things in our control that we can make things happen to make the playoffs, which means our season is not over. But I also would love to see this team make the playoffs despite everything that happened, because I feel like it would say a lot about Kyle Shanahan and the culture of this team if they kept fighting and pushing themselves. Because I know some people are like, oh, well, we don't get a better draft pick, etc. I don't know, man. I'm not into that. I feel like it's
those late round draft picks. I mean, once it gets past the top 15, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I think at that point, you're kind of
Everyone's just shooting their shot at that point. It's nothing like there's no high potential two player. Like maybe some players fall here and there.
I think you're shooting your shot usually in the first round, anyways. So
yeah,
I think a lot of those players, the majority of those players, especially quarterbacks, majority of those quarterbacks aren't even around anymore. So
yeah, and it's also, you want to think about the 49ers have never been good in the first round. Like Larry Krueger preaches it all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I think we nailed only Nick Bosa. If you want to count Ayuk, that's the other one only. Outside of that, everyone else has been a bust or they've moved on somewhere else because they weren't good enough as a first round draft pick. So it's not like us getting a better pick is going to make anything different, right? I do guys say whoever is making these picks in the first round, whoever you're listening to, whoever is like, hey, we're doing this, fucking fire that guy or ignore him. If it's John Lynch, take it out of John Lynch's hands. If it's Kyle Shanahan, take it out of Kyle Shanahan's hands. Somebody needs to do something different because for 7, 8, whatever bullshit years, these people can't draft. Nick Bosa was a guarantee. All right. He was practically a guarantee. He was not Solomon Thomas. He was not other players. He was a guaranteed pass rusher. Okay. Outside of that, every other player they took a chance on has been shit. Yeah, I do agree that I don't think the season's over. I think we need to fight because it would say a lot about this team. And again, I don't care about the draft pick situation. So what is there to give up on? Why give up?
Oh, I definitely don't think they should give up. I'm not saying that. I just don't know in conference if we're actually going to win those games. It could be the Cards or the Seahawks. I think this weekend might, if Seahawks win, that could be a big boost to them, even though they have a couple tough games against the Packers and Vikings still on their schedule. But if they win, I mean, it might be their division to lose at that point because, we still have to play the Cardinals. We still have to play the Rams. And, the Cardinals or Rams are still more in it than we are. We're last in the division.
By one game, though, dude. Whichever Seahawks are two. But
Seahawks will be 2 games ahead of us at that point. But yeah, I mean, which I think they'll still lose to the Pack and Vikings, but they could probably go beat the Rams. Then you're talking they're 9 and 8. So that forces
and they lost
hand
the Rams already too. They lost the Rams already this year. So I mean, there's so many things that could still happen where they go 9-8.
There's still a small chance. But I think with our injuries and the way that we haven't been able to produce, it's concerning. It's concerning. So yeah, it's concerning. I mean, I think this weekend how we play against the Bears might tell us a little something. Because if we struggle against the Bears, I don't. It's gonna be a telltale for the rest of that. I think.
That defense is great, though. Their Bears defense is great, though. So, if the offense struggles a little bit, you're playing against probably a top 5 defense, I think, if I remember correctly. They're that good.
I don't think they're top 5, but yeah.
They're up there. They're really good. And I think that this dismantled offense right now with Ayuk out, Trent out, obviously, and a bunch of others.
Yeah, their defense is 18th. So
yeah, that can't be it. They
play really close.
Good. There's no way, dude. They're better than 18.
You were close.
I believe that ranking bullshit. There's no way.
You were close.
You were better than that shit. 49 in the house. What up?
I mean, we're still top 10 and everything. It just I don't.
It's the shots.
We're just we can't. We're getting outscored. It's what it really comes down to. We have no red zone, and our red zone defense is trash. We have no way of stopping a team once they get inside the red zone. Once they get on the other side of the 50, it's almost, hey, you're going to score. Just, hey, we'll go on the sideline. Go ahead and take your points because you're going to score. That's what happens. I mean, and if that's what happens with this crappy team of the Bears and our defense struggles, that's going to be bad. That's going to be a telltale sign there. And
the defense is going to struggle.
Yeah, if our defense, I'm just going to say, if our defense struggles against one of the worst offenses in the NFL, that right there will tell you something. But I don't see us at this point. I had us winning the West. At this point, I don't think we're going to win the West. I think it's going to be Cardinals or Seahawks at this point.
We'll see. I just think there's too many variables where they can lose games they've lost to in the division before already. I think that can unfold again. And I think the Seahawks, obviously, you said they played the Packers, still the Vikings. There's still a couple things that still need to go our way, obviously, but those teams are going to be tough to beat for them. So I just think that, yeah, I get it, but the must-win games are Bears, Dolphins, Rams, and Cardinals. If we win those, that puts us at 9-8, right? So, I mean, there's still things to make us go 9-8, while the rest of the teams can still go 9-8 as well. So there's still potential. No point in making playoffs. We are not winning the Super Bowl. It's not about winning the Super Bowl when you make the playoffs. It's about the culture. It's about, do these players still fight? Are the rookies will also get these reps that are super important if they take it seriously. And if they just give up, that means the reps are pointless. The games are pointless. Everything is just pointless. And everyone should just rest, and you should just put depth players out there because you're going to be fucking over rookies who are trying to get better. So I understand where you're coming from, like maybe not win a Super Bowl, but there are other things that come with making the playoffs. There are things that come with it. Imagine if this team makes the playoffs, and Poggy, you don't know this because you don't pay attention to the content creators out there. Imagine the negative content creators out there if the 49ers went to the playoffs with this team. Imagine what they cannot say about Kyle Shanahan. Imagine what they can say about this, what they can't say about this culture. There is a narrative. There's a rhetoric to defend here. There is a rhetoric. There's a narrative to defend. So to prove, I should say. So there's things still to fight for. There truly are. And the only reason why you would ever tank, the only reason why you ever stop is if you get a top 10 pick, and like Poggy say, or at least a top 15. That is the only reason why you should ever stop. I want to see these rookies get better. I want to see this culture fight. I want to see Kyle Shanahan and the rest of this team prove all the haters wrong. There's things to fight for. It's not always about the Super Bowl. If football was just about the Super Bowl only, period, I would only watch football in February because then there's just no fucking point. There's no point to pay attention. I'm enjoying the journey, and part of that journey comes with other things other than the Super Bowl. 49ers beat hello. Hey, we're showing some love. That's why I say dumb question of the day. How tall are you, Wolfie, and the other guy? Man, this guy asks personal questions a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am 5'11". This dude's short king, I think. I don't remember.
6'5".
6'5".
Yeah, I don't know. There's no point in. Yeah, I mean, there's no. Don't give up. I mean, I hate when teams give up for draft picks. It's pointless because then you're setting like you say, the culture for the team that, hey, we're going to give up just so we can go out and get a player to replace you. So that's not how you coach a team. You don't give up. You want to make the playoffs. Not only do the coaches get bonuses, but a lot of the players get bonuses for making the playoffs. The team, they get a lot of pay for that. So as a coach, you want to get the players those bonuses. Yeah. So, no, you want to make the playoffs. As a fan, you probably don't want to see them there because they look terrible. But, also as a fan, you could be like, well, my team made the playoffs. We won the West. Ha. Screw the rest of you. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to see the Seahawks, Rams, or Cardinals win the West. I don't want to. I mean, I still want the Niners to win the West. I just don't think we're playing good enough to win out the rest of our schedule. I don't think we're going to beat Detroit. Cardinals played really good against the Vikings in Minnesota, lost by 1 point. So I think they're still a pretty good team. They're healthy. I think they might beat us. The Rams, they're kind of in shambles, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see how we play against the Bears. I mean, we're going in there not the best. So we have the last 2 weeks, we've looked probably the worst we've ever looked. And I mean, the time I've watched the 49ers, these are the 2 worst games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've turned off the games. These are the 2 worst games I've ever seen the Niners play. And it was embarrassing watching those games. So,
what's really embarrassing about those is that there was moments in that game where you felt like the 49ers could have at least got back into it, where it could have been like a 3-point game, etc. within these games. Like we stopped the Bills at first. We had an opportunity to go score a touchdown. We scored a field goal instead. Like there's opportunities to kind of build a momentum there and possibly defy the odds, but we kept shooting ourselves in the foot. This team shoots itself in the foot more than any team I've ever fucking seen ever, dude. Even Chip Kelly, John Tomsula, they just sucked. Okay. This team right now is just constantly beating themselves.
Yeah.
The fumble by Kyle Juszczyk on the fucking goal line. Oh my Lord, that dude has not fumbled since fucking 2018.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
God. I know. It's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see stuff like that. So it just, it's not meant to be this season, and I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not gonna cry about it. It is what it is. That's football. I mean, these things happen in football. So this is the nature of the game. So I mean, it's what everybody says. Well, there's always next season, and that's what you look forward to is, okay, what are we going to do during the off season? What can we improve on during the off season, and how can we become better? And that's all you hope that we do is improve in those positions that we were weak at. And so, you hope you pick up spots where you were weak at and maybe get depth. It'd be nice to see some depth because right now we're not. We had depth in the past on that defensive line on defense. We had no depth this year. So when you lose a player like Bosa, your only pass rusher, you have no depth. So
yeah, you got Beal Jr. out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Samuel's not bad, but he's also still a depth piece, right?
Yeah.
And then Leonard Floyd also. If Leonard Floyd was good,
if he played like he did last season, it would be I mean, we'd be in good hands. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Mike McClinchy, I wouldn't say was a bust. I would say he was. We drafted him a 9th pick overall. I think it was the 9th pick, and he was terrible for us. He was atrocious. He was getting run over, thrown to the ground, he's a rag doll.
I mean, not all of them were busts. I mean, we had Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner. They weren't busts. I mean, they were really good players, and they produced for us for a while. So,
but those
I mean,
were not Shanahan draft picks. Those were not.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, picks, I guess those were around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, I guess I'm thinking way back.
You don't think Mike McGlinchey's a bust?
Me?
Yeah. Do you think he's a bust?
No. Yeah. Mike McGlinchey? Yeah.
The right tackle?
I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah. I don't like him. Nick Bosa will ever play again? Yes, I think he'll still play. I mean, it doesn't look like
he might not play this season.
Strawberry says McGlinchey was a massive O draft, but he started for 5 years. I wouldn't call him a success, but I wouldn't call him a bust either. Okay. Is it about winning the Super Bowl? No, it's not always about winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's a number 1 goal, but there are things that come with. There's still a number 2 goal. There's still a number 3 goal. There's still a number 4 goal. There's still a number 5.
It's always about winning the Super Bowl. That's your number 1 goal, is to always win the Super Bowl. That's every team's goal going into the start. But then it's also realizing that, okay, what is the realistic goal here? Okay, we want to make the playoffs. What is your realistic goal going in, like the Panthers this season? Winning 4 games. I just want to come in and win 4 games. You know what I mean? Like, I know where my team is realistically. I know we're not a Super Bowl caliber team, but we're in rebuild mode. Right? Yeah, I still want to win 4, maybe 6 games. So,
and also, like, it's not about the Super Bowl for them, but they still want to prove Bryce Young is the quarterback, right? They still got things to prove. And also, it's okay, who cares what people think? People are going to be able to take that away if you wanted to. It comes back to the other thing. Players still need to get paid. Players need the experience. The culture itself within that locker room needs to stay intact. And I think that if you give up, I feel like players will look at that and think to themselves, okay, why the fuck are we giving up?
Yeah,
exactly. I don't think players in locker rooms like giving up. I don't think that's a thing. And if you do that, I think it dismantles the entire culture. There's a lot
you're
more.
A terrible coach if you do that. I mean, if you give up, you're a terrible coach. I mean, to give up your terrible organization, you're a terrible coach.
What do you think if Mike Silver's comments that there is going to be major shakeups when it comes to veterans on this team? Who do you see them moving off of, says Strawberry?
Well, I think you're talking about drafts, probably free agency.
Next year.
I know there's some pretty good offensive linemen coming up in this draft. So I think Trent Williams might be time to start looking to move on from him. He's up there in age. Well, yeah, we have rookies, though, wide receiver wise, right? We have some pretty good wide receivers coming out. So I don't think wide receiver is going to be a prime position we need to look at. I think it's going to be more offensive line because you're going to secure Brock Purdy this offseason. So I think offensive line maybe in the first round, especially where we'll be at position wise. Mm-hmm. You got like a player out of Arizona. So you got some really good, you got a lot of really good offensive linemen. Like some were not, I mean, we'll just be out of position to get them. Banks out of Texas. But I think, you get further down the line, you got like, there's a Conley Jr. out of Oregon. You got Jonah out of Arizona, who's really good. Guy's a monster out of Arizona, and Williams out of Texas. Simon's out of
Ohio State. Tackles and centers, or are we just talking about guards?
Tackles. These are offensive tackles that I think could come in and be instant starters for us. These are guys that are monsters.
Okay.
They're big players. They're really athletic too, and they're really high on the draft class. I think offensive linemen are pretty big this year. So I think, looking at offensive line, that'd probably be a position. I think probably Trent Williams. You can even start thinking maybe George Kittle, I think, played really good for us this season. So I don't know if you start looking at getting rid of him. I think maybe your linebacker position. So I know Dre Greenlaw might be coming back, but I don't know how good he's going to be when he comes back, right? So you got to start looking there. are your linebackers. You definitely need to start looking at defensive line. I don't think we're going to be in position to get anybody at defensive line in the draft right away, but there are a few edge rushers. I mean, Sawyer out of Ohio State. You got, Williams. He's a kind of a bigger guy, so he's kind of not really an edge rusher. You need more edge rushing. You got Walker out of Georgia, but that's
the 49ers for some reason like guys who can play inside and out for some reason. Like, yeah. I don't know why.
You're going to need a smaller guy like 250, 260. I mean, you need there's a guy out of Tennessee. I think he's like where is he? Yeah, James Peace. Yeah, he's 243. He's an edge rusher. He could play that stand-up spot. He can play both up, so he can play up and down. So, but I think he'll be gone the position we're in. We'll see. I mean, they could go edge or offensive line, but there's some. I mean, I really like that kid Jonas Savannah out of Arizona. He's 6'5", 336, really athletic. I think what is his unofficial 5'2", 40.
And the 49ers love Arizona.
5'2", 40. I mean, the guy can get upfield for that size. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's faster than me and you right now. So he could run us down 6'5", 336 pounds. I mean, he's a big Samoan. The dude's he's a good player. I've watched him. The guy is really, I like him. So, I think he's young. He's a junior. He's got a long shelf life. We won't get like the top guys. You're talking about Banks Jr. out of Texas or Campbell out of LSU, but
you also got to count the 49ers actually drafting an offensive lineman in the first round, though.
Yeah,
you got that's another what if you got to throw out there.
But I think they'll probably go edge rusher.
I don't think this is the thing. This is the thing with the 49ers. Okay. Yes, it's possible for the 49ers to move on from all these big time players. I do think they should. I agree with that. I think they need to move on from Debo. Okay, I'm sorry. Like I said earlier, there's no excuse for that guy. That guy's been
But I think we have depth there. I think we have enough depth there that we don't need to draft him right away. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about draft though. Just talking about getting rid of a guy though. And I think that we should just get rid of Debo and move on, trade from draft picks, do something, whatever we got to do with him. He's got to go. We needed him this year, and he's completely fallen flat. We needed him, and he's been terrible. He's not even been a mid wide receiver. He's been like a third string wide receiver. Okay. He's been absolutely atrocious. Williams has fallen off. I think we need, like you said, we need to find an offensive lineman to replace him by now. Even before his tragedy, sorry about that. It sucks. But before the tragedy and all that, he wasn't playing good. He was playing, well, I guess he wasn't playing good to Trent Williams standards, but like he's falling off a little bit. A couple of players are falling off. Kittle, I don't think we should get rid of Kittle. Obviously, I think
he's been big for us this season. He's been
big. He's been
clutch first. Jennings coming back, and then Kittle have been absolutely the two best players on our offense this year for us, hands down.
And we're not passing the ball enough to Kittle.
We're not. Yeah. We're not using him enough.
No, and I thought I like props to Kittle. He should have been bitching a long time ago about, hey, I'm not getting enough targets. Like, I'm not for players being divas and shit, but it's so blatantly obvious the past 7 years, whatever how long we've had Kittle for. It's like, okay, it's a pass. We need that blocker, so that's okay. We need a pass block. But like when you see him in the passing game, you see what he can do. And the fact that we don't use him enough, it's weird that Kyle uses his tight end like a third string wide receiver or a last resort option. Brock Purdy, I'm not saying should go rogue because that's what Kyle Shanahan doesn't like, and then he's just going to get rid of him in the end. But like Brock Purdy needs to go rogue a little bit and start throwing the ball a little bit more to Kittle. Okay, I understand he dropped the ball on the Buffalo Bills, but that was one fucking target.
Who cares? Shit. Players are going to drop balls. I mean, it's going to happen to the best of them. And you need a player like Kittle because he's not only a clutch player, but his attitude on the team. I mean, you see him on the sidelines. You see how excited he gets. He's a leader out there. He motivates players. He motivates the team. And you need a veteran like that can do that for the team. He's not a Debbie Downer. He's not going to go in there like a Devo type presence and go, I'm not getting the ball enough. I didn't score that touchdown. It should have been me. No, he's over there cheering these guys on, celebrating with them. Like, that is a leader right there, and you want that guy on your team.
You want him scoring.
And maybe he's not – maybe at some point he's not producing as he used to, and maybe you can get him for a deal. But if he's still able to be that leader on your team, kind of that captain presence to where he's motivating players and coaching players. It's like you need a veteran presence like that. There where you want to keep somebody with that attitude and that positive, creating a positive atmosphere for younger players to come into. And that's something you want on your team long term, in my opinion, just because that's somebody that's going to come in. You're going to have, tight end university. Him and Kelsey created tight end university, and they're the head guys of it. You want tight ends to come in and be under George Kittle and learn from George Kittle. He's physical. The guy he loves playing football. Even if he doesn't start at some point, as long as he's helping that other player grow, who cares at that point? If you're getting him at a discount and he's helping that other player grow, I see it great.
Yeah, I think we need to draft his replacement now, but not get rid of him. If that makes sense. Let him.
You could draft it. Yeah,
31,
yeah.
Dude. We need to find a new back. We need a back.
You could probably get a tight end late draft.
Yeah, so
I don't tight ends. I don't think tight ends are too deep. I think next season's where you're going to find a tight end.
Yeah, I think we should go in the draft in like the 3rd or 4th round and draft one, maybe in the 5th round. I think. Yeah. We need that backup tight end pretty bad, just because Salbert. I like Salbert for what he is, but he's not the answer at the backup or taking Kittle's job in the future. But yeah, I do agree that Kittle is that guy. Like right now, our season is complete shit, right? Everything's going bad, everything's going wrong. But he's still, fucking happy.
Well, yeah, he's that guy that creates that positive atmosphere on the sideline. Yeah. He's not that guy that goes out there and goes, fuck, we're losing. I hate this team. It's like the guy is over there. He's cheering everybody on. He's creating that positive atmosphere over there. And you need somebody like that on your team regardless. Like, I think keep him until I think just keep him. And if we could restructure his contract at some point where he's not producing numbers, but he's able to go out there and just be that cheerleader and, help younger players grow. We need a guy like that, and I'm a big George Kittle fan because of his attitude and the way he loves football. He's a football guy. He loves football, and you need a guy like that on your team that creates that atmosphere that young players can come in and learn from and maybe, start to love football. So,
49ers Media says Debo, Hargrave, Brendel, bye-bye. Yeah, I agree. I do think, coming back to what Strawberry said, I do think I agree with the shakeup. I do. But do I think it's going to happen? No. I don't think it's going to happen just because, like I said before, Kyle has like this thing about tiers with players. If they're on a certain tier, he will not get rid of them. He will ride them into the ground until their contract is up. So do I think Debo should be gone next year? Yes. Even with the cap hit that we would take of getting rid of him because we restructured his contract this offseason. But Kyle loves his players, loves his homies, and he's going to stick with Debo until at least the end of this contract for sure. I just know it. You see it coming. Same thing with Trent. Brendel, for some reason, he has a love affair with Brendel. I don't know why. He's fucking sucks. Hargrave, I can see us moving on from Hargrave as well. But Debo, though, is the big one in my opinion. But they're not going to get rid of him. They're just not because they, like I said, Kyle just loves him way too much. Yes, give me Jonah Savani. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. From Arizona, bear down. 49ers Media, by the way, is a huge Arizona fan. So he'll be on board with any player that you say from Arizona.
Yeah, I love that guy. Their offensive tackle. That Jonah is freaking a beast. If we get him, I'd be really happy with that pick. But okay. I don't know what, like I said, I've watched him play because he's, but yeah, he's a beast. So, anyways.
So ask Poggy about DBs and get rid of Kittle and Ayuk. We can't get rid of Ayuk. It's too late for that. We signed him.
You can't get rid of Kittle. Yeah, you can't get rid of Kittle.
Kittle, I don't think we should get rid of Kittle. That would be stupid. He's literally – I understand that, he's not getting the targets, but that's not his fault. What's happening with him is nice. If he was dropping balls left and right and he was just keep using him as a blocker because he sucks. But I'm sorry. He's had a triple coverage touchdown, clutch. He's been the only clutch player in the red zone. I don't know why we don't throw him to him enough. And then there's potential there that still is elite with Kittle. So I wouldn't get rid of Kittle at all. I would just draft his replacement now because he is 31 years old. And not everyone can be a tight end going and being 35 and still dominating. That doesn't just happen. I do expect Kittle. I'm not saying I want this to happen, but I do expect Kittle to have a drop off at some point because that just happens with age. Kittle, I saw didn't play great last game, but he can improve this game. He had that one target where he dropped it. I was like, what the fuck? But outside of that, they should have kept going to him to try to get him going. If he dropped a couple more balls, I get it, but we didn't not give him a chance. Give me more Arizona players all day. Like I said, F4 loves fucking. They're going to go DT or edge in the first round. I'm not against the edge part in the first round, just because Bosa needs help on the other side.
Unless we can get somebody in free agency, yeah.
Yeah, or in free agency as well. A D tackle, I'm not big on D tackle because Malik Collins has shown to be a starting D tackle. I like Malik Collins. I think he's actually pretty good. Yes, we 100% need another tight end. Yeah. Bears choking the house. What up, dude? All right, I have a good authority that Kyle Shanahan punches puppies. You should. All right, well, I'm gonna delete that comment. Jesus, he's not Stephon Diggs. Nice try, Bear Junkie isn't happening. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I also heard this. All right, I'm gonna ban this guy. I don't know who this is. Bears Junkie. I'm banning this dude. That's just fucking stupid. Scott Cluss, the glue in the house. Wolfie, Papa J in the house. Good to see it, man. Good to see it. Good to see it, Papa J. 49ers. Hey, we're showing some love. That's what I like to see. Guys, we do not take – there's one rule I have here. We do not get personal and say stupid shit like that. That is fucking crazy. Okay? That is ridiculous. We don't get personal. We talk football. We debate. We can talk shit and stuff. But if you're going as far as saying that Kyle Shanahan's doing this to people and then he's doing something – I didn't want to finish that fucking sentence that he typed in. Guys, we're here to talk football. All right? If you don't like Kyle Shanahan, that's fine. But if you're going to say something so out of pocket, this is not the channel for you. Okay? All right. Wait a minute. Wait, Sunday? No, it's not. It's not Sunday. It's just that Poggy works on Sunday. So
yeah, I gotta work Sunday.
Now. On the bright side, the show can last a little bit longer than an hour. So
yeah.
Hey, don't you do that to me, man.
We'll see. Coast Guard.
That was just Caleb Williams trolling. For sure. We're showing some love. Hey, you know that's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Give me 1 second. I let my dog outside. She's bitching me.
There are a few upcoming free agents, though. I mean, edge-wise. So we'll see.
I'm back. Okay. What'd you say?
Oh, Josh Sweat's going to be a free agent.
I don't know if I'm a big fan of Josh Sweat. He's not bad, though, right?
No, he's been playing pretty good. So
Josh Sweat is going to be – it's 27 and going to be a free agent. How many sacks is he, guys? Is he good?
I don't know what he's – he did 7 sacks through week 17. Or 13, I'm sorry.
And he is only 27, so the chances of him having a Leonard Floyd drop off is pretty low. Yeah, I don't like that. That's actually a good idea for Niners. That's a good one. That's a good one. Man.
And then you got Hassan Reddick out of the Jets. He'll be a free agent.
Okay. All right, so response. I'm not a big fan of Hassan Reddick. He threw a little bit too much of a fit.
Ward's going to be a free agent this year too.
Jimmy Ward?
Travarius Ward.
Yeah, he's got to go though. I'm not. I feel bad talking shit about him because of the situation, but
I thought he's been
player wise. He's what's that?
I thought he's been pretty good for us.
He's been decent, but he's been dealing with issues and stuff, and I just think that we need to move on with
those issues. Weren't his fault though.
Yeah, exactly. But it's we need.
There's a few tackles too that we could pick up. I don't know. I guess we see what we do. I mean, there's a lot
of potential this offseason, right? There's a lot of potential of needs that we need. Like you said,
T. Higgins is going to be a free agent. Let's get rid of Ayuk and get free.
Let's get T. Higgins in there, yeah, for sure, 110%. He was joking. He's a Bears fan and wants the 49ers to trade him to Chicago. Okay, well, I didn't like that. It's just you cannot be saying stuff like that. That is just way out of pocket. Joking or not, at some point you got to be held accountable for your jokes. Okay, you cannot.
Khalil Mack.
7 sacks. Khalil Mack. I wouldn't mind taking him.
He's 40 years old.
Hey, might be the next Leonard Floyd. Greg in the house.
I wouldn't mind seeing. Hey, DJ Reed's going to be a free agent cornerback.
Oh, I like DJ Reed. How old is he?
Jets. I don't know how old he is. I think age is irrelevant.
Greg, hey, I was showing some love. Okay. Papa, what the F is
28.
going on?
He's 28.
Charles Menny, who's going to be a free agent, bring him back? Yes. Yes, I actually think he's a good depth piece. I don't think he's a starter, but I do think he's a second DN.
What about Ronnie Staley?
Ronnie Staley, is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's going to be.
Oh, but we restructured
Ravens.
Williams, though. We can't afford a big contract on the line,
I know.
Fuck. Greg, this whole season is an enigma. It's crazy, dude. Get rid of Brendel and sign Josh Myers. Yes. Actually, isn't that guy on the Green Bay Packers? He's actually not that bad.
Well, I think we're going to keep. I think we'll keep Mason. I don't think Mason's going to go anywhere.
They better not pick up. I don't think Mason's going to go anywhere either.
I think we'll get a running back in the draft.
Well, Brendel's a center. Or you just bringing up Mason?
You're talking about Mason.
Yeah, but I said get rid of Brendel and sign.
Oh, Josh. No. I was reading the Strawberries comment.
Oh, okay, gotcha. My bad. That's my fault. They better not pick up another running back. They have CMC, Mitchell, Garendo, and Bonnie Kondo all under contract, and Mason's RFA. They can easily tender for cheap. I agree. That's exactly what. My bad, dude. But yeah, I totally agree. If we're not only is Mason injured, they would have to get rid of a draft pick and possibly pay Mason starting running back money. So there's actually I'm not saying it's good that he got injured, but with the injury happening, there's kind of a blessing there. Like, I'm not saying
he'll be our second running back. And I think Garendo's going to be, I think Garendo's a good running back. And I think we'll probably pick up another running back 4th or 5th round. There's a lot of running backs this draft class too. And running backs, I think you never want to go, as much as I like Genty from Boise, I think you're still taking a chance drafting him in the first round, but somebody will pick him up in the first round. I think.
Well, if we draft running back first round, bro, I'm riding. I understand. I understand.
But no. I'm not saying we will. I'm just saying whoever drafts him in the first round, it's you're always taking a chance because the running back position is such a hard. I mean, those guys take shots in the knees. There's no protection for them. So I think it's a really underpaid position in my opinion because, I mean, their short-term employment, right? If you really think about it, true. the guys put up 1,000 yards for 3 seasons and then they're done for their career because their knees, ACLs, MCLs are blown out. They never can run the same. They can barely walk in their 28 years old. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I think it's just unfortunate. So.
Yeah, and with CMC, restructuring CMC this year, even with this injury, regardless, it's just not in the cards to just draft a running back, especially with the needs that we have already, like D-end, tackle, like we talked about and stuff. And for a fact, Genty is going to be taken in the first round. He's just way too fucking good. Okay.
Yeah.
Papa J's alt, make me a mod. That's not happening. Hi, what's up? Hi, welcome home. Hey, Papa. First, the SF Giants suck. Now the Niners suck. Weenie. There's no way Greg Dayton is a 49ers fan. There's no fucking possible way, dude. I'm pretty sure he's a Raiders fan. I know what his alt looks like. Strawberry Fields forever. Good morning. Cowboys might get him. Yeah, Cowboys would be smart to get Genty. I don't want that to happen, but it would be smart for them to draft running back first round.
Yeah, I don't know what the mock drafts are saying. So I guess we'll see.
Mitchell's a free agent. He will be gone. He needs to go.
Elijah Mitchell, yeah, we won't have him.
Yeah, he needs to go. But if you got Isaac Garendo, Mason coming back, and CMC, you gotta give CMC a chance to come back.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have him. Draft, especially if Kyle Shanahan knows how to make running backs in the 7th and undrafted situation just turn into studs. There's no point in keeping Mitchell, and there's no point of reaching for a running back anymore. If you already have a solidified first and second running back, there's no point of reaching for a running back.
And a third. I mean,
Orlando,
yeah. I mean, he could be second at the.
I was thinking also with the possibility of missing out on Mason though. So Garendo could have been the second guy.
Yeah.
And, you're just drafting a third guy in the 3rd round. That'd be terrible.
Yeah.
Wolfie, don't make him. I know. I won't worry. I am the only guy who's in a lot of chats, but not a mod in none. This gave him a sad face. I'm just very weary about I'm just worried about giving mods. I don't know enough about it. It's just a lot of responsibility. You know what I mean? If you keep coming into the chat and stuff like that, and become like an OG, etc. I'll make you a mod. Papa J has just been around for so long. He's sticking around for so long. He's been very active. So I trust him. He's shown that I could trust him in that situation. So I just kind of want to make him a mod for that reason. You 100% get okay. I just want to make sure. I don't mean that disrespect. I'm just trying to be real. Hey Wolfie, I'm a Niners for 50 years. Why do you keep saying that? Because I just don't believe it, dude. There's no way. There's just no way. I'm just never gonna believe it. Just never gonna believe it. It's either you're not a 49ers fan or you're purposely negative to protect yourself. One of the two. One of the two. But hey, I'm just a random guy on the internet. You don't have to take what I say personal. If you are a 49ers fan, you are a 49ers fan. Watching Dan Campbell last night, that guy's awesome and has guts. So different than Kyle playing timid and conservative. Campbell can make adjustments and changes. We have no fire and energy. I don't like how aggressive he was last night. I'm sorry. But I thought the whole reason why they were even in that game was because of Dan Campbell. He went for it on the 30-yard line of his own 30-yard line. They had the
quite a bit.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I know people might. There's like a hot take. Did you watch the game at all?
Mm-hmm.
Last night? Did you like his aggressiveness?
Yeah.
You did?
I think he lives and dies by the sword.
Yeah,
so
that's why he lost to the 49ers, though.
I know, but he lives and dies by it. And guess what? He's been living all season and he's been eating all season. Now, that being said, I don't think that's how we should play. No, I don't. It doesn't mean I agree with it, but I like it. I like watching it. I wouldn't like watching it for our team. That being said, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't like seeing our team do that. But I do enjoy watching the Lions team. I mean, it makes for fun football, right? It makes for entertainment, but watching our team do it, nah, I'm good. No, thank you. I'd rather
it's way too hard.
I would like to see Shanahan be more aggressive. Yes. I think he is
a little more
way too conservative. I think he's way too conservative, and you know how I feel about how conservative he is. I think he's way too conservative, and it's hurt us on way too many occasions. I think he kind of takes his foot off the pedal a lot of the times when he could just continue to on the gas. I think we lost the Super Bowl because how conservative he was, and so.
Carry to the house. Thank you, Papa J, for reminding me. I totally forgot to do that. Thank you for reminding me. I appreciate it. Mitchell won't be a free agent because he was on IR all year since he's his rookie contract. It rolls. Is it a rookie contract? I thought he got like a 2-year signed contract. I could be tripping, but yeah, I think that's right though. I think if you go on season-ending IR, you end up just rolling over the contract. I think you're actually right about that. I could be wrong, but I think you're actually right. Can we all agree the Niners suck? It's just it comes with caveats, man. Like it's not just like these players suck.
I wouldn't say the Niners sucks. I think the season sucks.
Yeah, the season sucks. I just think it's way too much of that. Yeah. Yeah, he was a 6th round pick. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump into the next thing. We haven't really talked about that. Kyle Shanahan. There's talks that Kyle Shanahan should be traded because he does have trade value on him. Like, let's be real. Like, there would be many teams that would want Kyle Shanahan.
Only if we can get Robert Saleh would I agree with that.
I kind of like it. I like it a little bit.
I love Saleh. I can't help it. I love Saleh because when he was there, that defense was mean. I mean, that was the best team we had, and we should have won the Super Bowl that season. But yes, okay. No, I don't. We're not going to trade him. That's so stupid.
Yeah, Mike Florio brought up the scenario of like, I heard the Bears. Yeah, I think the Bears should trade 2 first-round draft picks for Kyle Shanahan, and then everybody picked that shit up. People are making content that says Kyle Shanahan's getting traded to the Bears, and it's like that was not even said. It was an opinion piece. Someone just said their opinion, and now apparently it's rumors that he's going to be traded. I hate that. I hate when people do that. They take it, it's like a game of telephone, and they turn it into fact. They take an opinion and they turn it into fact. It just drives me nuts. Yeah. I do not think we should trade Kyle Shanahan just because other teams would want him. There are head coaches, like you said, you have Robert Saleh. Like if you would take Robert Saleh, then trade Kyle Shanahan. But I don't think that would happen.
No, it wouldn't happen.
I like Ben Johnson. I would trade Kyle Johnson. I would trade. This is like if we can get Ben Johnson, I would consider it. I would, but in this realistic world, head coaches just don't get traded every day. It just doesn't happen, right? Not to mention the coach has to agree to it as well. The coach has to want to go to the Bears. He could easily just say, no, I'm not going there.
No, fuck that.
So
why would he want to go there?
Yeah, and like, why would he want to go there? I understand he's get Caleb Williams and all of that, but like, there's constant turmoil with that ownership that I don't think he would want to go there. There's still,
and he has a great relationship with John Lynch. I don't think John Lynch would be willing to trade him.
Yeah, John Lynch, them two, like, no matter all the rumors,
you'd have to take those two.
Yeah, you have to take them both because it seems like they both get along really well. They both click off each other. They may argue and stuff like that but that's just what partners do. But from the most part, from what I've seen from Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, they get along with each other. They work, and I actually love what they do in the draft, except for what Kyle's decisions are, which are running backs in the 3rd and 4th round. But yeah, there's no way John Lynch is going to trade that guy. I just don't think it's going to happen. So you lose this game, maybe get rid of Kyle. No. Like I said, the season is just a season from hell. Everyone gets passed except for Deebo Samuel. We get healthy and add one next year, we can kick some effing ass. I think it's hilarious that someone said Shanahan had Florio leak it because he wants to be traded to the Bears. Then he wouldn't say that. Like, I'm not saying that against you, Strawberry, but like I do agree with you. Like that's like the thing. If
he does like Caleb Williams, yeah.
If someone said something like that. Like, if someone said Shanahan had Florio leak it because he wants to be traded, it wouldn't have been an opinion. It would have been, I heard rumors that Kyle Shanahan wants to go to the Bears. Or I heard rumors that Kyle Shanahan's going to be traded to the Bears. It was, I think Kyle Shanahan should get traded to the Bears. It's going to be great for the Bears, be great for the 49ers. That was what the opinion piece was.
You know what you could see working, though, with that is if they give him GM powers. He would say, I want to be GM and head coach. Would that only work? And I know that Shanahan does like Caleb Williams. I mean, but I think people are making too much. Yeah, I mean, they wrote an article about it, but it's like, dude, you're making too much of it. He gave the guy some praise. Come on, move on. Like, you don't have to write an article about it. Like, I think you guys are reading too much into it. But I think the only way you see that working is if they're like, okay, well, we'll make you GM and head coach. I think that's the only way you see him going there because he wants total control.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where you could see it happening. And then it's like, okay, well, John, let's bring in Robert Saleh.
If we get Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator, I'm all for getting rid of Sorensen for Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator. I just don't know if he's a good. I still think he's a good head coach, but I don't think.
I think he'd be a great head coach
as a coach. I don't think he'd be better than Kyle at being a head coach. I don't.
Think he'd be a great head coach. I think
defensive coordinators do not work out. They don't work out. They just don't. The only defensive coordinator that's ever worked out is Pete Carroll. Okay. That's the only one. Outside of that, what? Rex Ryan didn't work out. There's like 3 defensive coordinators like that were defensive coordinators that are head coaches this year got fired. Yeah, I'm not for it. I do think Robert Saleh is probably the best defensive coordinator, like in the entire league. Like he should have been a defensive coordinator, but right now he's helping the Packers, so that's crazy. Everyone is high on Ben Johnson, but maybe not a great head coach. Maybe he's just a good. See, the only way you'll know is if you try it. That's the only way you can find out. But I do agree.
I think Robert's
good offensive coordinator. Some people are just good offensive coordinators and terrible head coaches.
That's where I would agree more with Strawberry. Maybe we bring Ben Johnson at offensive coordinator, put Robert Saleh at head coach. Bam, winning team.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want to leave the offensive coordinator to be an offensive coordinator somewhere else for the Lions. Yeah. He came back to the Lions for a reason. Ben Johnson did.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to take a call.
Okay. The opinion was more about what would be best for the Bears, not what would be best for the 49ers. Yeah, exactly. I like that. Jets would want Kyle and Brock. Yeah, actually, see that. Actually, true. They would want more. D'Amico Ryans working out. That's true. Touche. 49ers media. Touche. That is true. D'Amico Ryans is tough. Though a lot of people are giving D'Amico Ryans a lot of shit this year, he showed flash his last year, and I'm all for not getting into emotions and think logically. Like, okay, he's shown flash in his first year. You're allowed to have a sophomore slump. You're allowed to have a bad year. You're allowed to have that. And I keep preaching this. What are you doing consistently? So, like, if next year, if D'Amico Ryans was ass, then maybe consider getting rid of him and maybe it doesn't work out. But you're allowed to have a little bit of reality. Okay. That's reality. Not everyone wins the Super Bowl. Not everyone goes to playoffs. Not everything goes your way. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be realistic with some of these things. And I do think that some people get kind of caught up in the potential of things, the expectations of things, where they're like, it gets stripped of them and they suddenly just become so irritated saying, no, this guy's not the answer. It's like, you do not know that. Bill Belichick, you know what? Wasn't the answer everywhere else. Look, guess what? Now he has 6 Super Bowls, right? I think of multiple different. I can't think of right about. If I do my research, I can find multiple scenarios where head coaches or offensive coordinators, whatever you want to be, has had terrible years, but then had successful years the next year round. It's what you do consistently that matters. Next Sunday, the Bills and the Lions. Very good. That's gonna be a good game. Yeah, it's true. Spitting hot fire. I thought the Green Bay Packers versus Lion game was pretty fire. The problem is who would be Saleh's OC, because the Jets had an awesome defense, but their offense was ass. I know Saleh was a victim of Aaron Rodgers, straight up. If you gave Robert Saleh, I know I'm about to like contradict myself here, but I do agree with that. That defense was elite. He was on fire. Once they got rid of Saleh, that shit had holes. Sauce Gardner became expendable at that point. He's not the same once Robert Saleh left. So I do agree that he's awesome, but you'll need an elite offensive coordinator next to Saleh, and Ben Johnson's not going to be the answer because he's not going to leave the offensive coordinator job for the Lions to go be an offensive coordinator somewhere else. I don't know who would be a good offensive coordinator. I don't know enough about football in that depth where I don't know who's the assistant, the next assistant, whatever, to be the next best offensive coordinator, right? Like, I know offensive coordinators, I know head coaches, but I don't know that depth where I could be like, hey, this guy would be good offensive coordinator, this guy would be good offensive coordinator, et cetera, right? Houston is number 1 in the AFC South. That's not bad for a second year. That's not bad at all. But there's like people out there that are really bagging on D'Amico Ryans right now, really holding a lot against him. And I think it's ridiculous. But so that's Kyle Shanahan potentially being traded. I think the whole thing, I think it's just people taking an opinion piece and saying, hey, I heard rumors that Kyle Shanahan is getting traded. It's a game of telephone sometimes. So you have to go back to the source and be like, okay, what is the source saying? And usually, if you can see it, you know whether something is an opinion piece, you know whether something is actually a rumor. It was stated as, I think this should happen. Not I heard Kyle Shanahan's going here. I heard Kyle Shanahan wants out. Nothing like that. So it really bothers me seeing other content creators that are just spreading that misinformation, and then people are just jumping on that and jumping on that and jumping on that. And there was something that Brad Graham said of the SF Niners that I totally agree with when I watched one of his videos. He says that some people are just caught up in their emotions this year with everything happening. I 110% agree with him. I actually wanted to watch that video on live, and I think we will at some point, just because everything he said about that was 110% true. We get caught up in our emotions sometimes. We let our emotions dictate how things should be. When it's like a game of football is based on not only just stats, but probability, energy, vibes, etc. You know, so I just think, yeah, trading Kyle and getting a copy of your emotions, it's a game of emotions when you lose and stuff, but emotions should not dictate whether something should be done. You got to stop. You got to let yourself be heated. You got to let yourself vent, etc. But come back to it and think to yourself logically, like, hey, would this be logical? Should I do this? Like, would this help my team? So I just think that people need to slow down a little bit, reel yourself in, get your emotions out, stop and think logically, hey, is this the right chess move? So, and I think Kyle Shanahan is a top this year. I mean, with everything happening to him, top 10 head coach or whatever. But for the past like 7-8 years, he's been a top 5 head coach. And you just don't get rid of those. All right? You just don't. And and also we just preached about how this year sucks. Poggy said it best. This season sucks. I don't think the team sucks. I don't think Bosa sucks. I don't think Fred Warner sucks. I don't think Brock sucks. I don't think Kittle sucks. I don't think Kyle Shanahan sucks. I think everything that's possibly happened this season just fucking sucks. So, hi, I'm Bark. Hey, welcome back. What's up, Samuel? Welcome back. All right, so that's Kyle Shanahan possibly being traded. I have to use the bathroom. You're calling somebody, Poggy? You gotta hit that pause. You gotta hit the mute button. All right, so let's next up to the next one. We just got to talk about is the season over. We just got to talk about Kyle Shanahan's situation. I have to use the bathroom, so I gotta wait for. I need to get him off the phone. All right, so let's talk about the injuries real quick. Just to kind of get those out of the way. Let me go ahead and bring the injury report up right now. We'll talk about that. Drinking all that water, man. Drinking all that water. Okay. Boop. Okay, so Aaron Banks, concussion. He did not practice. He's going to continue to be out if he missed the tooth. Same thing, Bosa. He's going to be out for sure if he did not practice. Honestly, though, there's a possibility they might force Bosa out there just because these are must-win games from here on out.
I hate for them to do that, though.
Yeah, I would hate them to do it, but you got to win, right? You need it, but I agree. Flanagan Fowles might be back, but that's nothing. Jordan Mason's clearly – they haven't put Jordan Mason on IR yet. They said they were going to –
He's out. He's out. Yeah, he's
definitely out, though, so I thought that was interesting. Trent Williams makes sense. His ankle injury also non-football really as well. Yeah. Greenlaw might be back. Living in practice. He might be back. That'd be something to look forward to.
I would hate for them to bring him back too early.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I know we're saying these are must-win games, but it's like how much do you believe in this season to push these guys to where you do something like you did with CMC?
Yeah.
You overplayed CMC, and look what happened. I mean, we talked about that CMC. He overplayed CMC. He injured him, and now look at him. I mean, shit. Why? For what?
Yeah, if you put it that way,
obviously didn't come in and save our season.
Injury.
I mean, a lot of we want these players long term, and we're not winning in all this season. And yes, we do. Yeah, we want to make the playoffs. We want to win the West, but do it with what you have, and don't force players into injuring themselves further. That's what I'm going to say. If you can't do it with what you have, then don't do it at all. You know what I mean? Like, don't force Nick Bosa in there and injure him further. Don't force Greenlaw in there with his Achilles, and then he's out even next season. I mean, why? We know what we are this season. We know what we haven't accomplished this season. Yes, we want to make the playoffs, but try to make the playoffs with what you have. And if you can't do it, then just don't do it. You go in the bathroom?
Yes. So keep talking about what you're talking about. You're right.
All right. Good luck. So, I just think we don't need to push the players to the brink of where we have a CMC thing to where they're out this season, possibly even some of next season, and we're still having a hangover from this season. And, we just need to rest them. I mean, the Bears aren't a good team, right? So we should be able to win with what we have. But I still, my opinion is we're not going to make the playoffs this season because of the way we've played. Purdy hasn't looked 100%. We don't have the best receivers out there. They're still learning how to play with Purdy. Purdy's still learning how to play with them. They haven't, in our running back situation's getting pretty dire. Our offensive line's not looking great. Defense has looked pretty terrible. So it just, things aren't lining up for us while other teams are staying in the West are staying healthy, and they have some games that they're going to win that they should win. But if they, there's always that chance. I'm probably 75-25 that we're going to not make the playoffs. 75% that we're not going to make it.
25% is pretty good odds.
I'm going to throw 25% out there because there's still always a chance, right? I'm not saying there's
any given Sunday.
Completely, there's surprise wins out there. You'd be like, oh wow, they beat that team. You know what I mean? Like,
Almost Seahawks almost lost to the Jets, dude.
yeah, yeah, they almost lost to the Jets.
And if Aaron Rodgers was
So
just that much better, they would have won.
exactly, but yeah, he pees in a cup. He pees in a cup, Sam. But yeah,
I pissed in that plant over there. I'd make it work.
it just
Just joking.
it's you want your team to make the playoffs, but it is kind of tough to watch this team sometimes.
Well, it's kind of to play off what you're talking about, which is like, okay, yeah, if there was realistic chances of winning the Super Bowl, like with 49ers being said, like we're not winning the Super Bowl, I agree. Like the realistic idea of us winning the Super Bowl is like really low. Like NFC championship stuff, it's not equivalent to making the playoffs where it's like a 20%. It's more like 1% chance that we go to the Super Bowl or NFC championship game, etc. So I understand what you're saying. Like, don't force players out there. They're just going to be playing for just a playoff spot at that point. Like, you want, if they're not healthy. If they're healthy, I still want them out there to perform and still keep playing, of course. But like,
you want them at 100%. You don't want them at 75% and nursing something to where they can't. Yeah, I don't want, like I said, I don't want them having a hangover to where it's following into next season, and then we're right back to where we were at this season, to where we're having players that aren't playing, week 2, week 1, 2, 3 next season. Then they don't come in shape, and then Kyle Shanahan's overusing them like he did with CMC, and then they're out for the whole season, right? So if Bosa's not healthy, he's not fully healthy, don't play him. Just say, Bosa, you know what? Sit it out. It's not a big deal. I don't want you out there. I don't want you getting hurt long term. I still don't like Purdy. I didn't like Purdy playing last week. Kind of still don't like him playing because
he was fine.
The shoulder.
He was fine. What are you talking about?
I just didn't like it. I was too,
But he was 100%.
Yeah, he just didn't look good. So.
But he didn't look good because the game plan was to run the ball in the snow, which is what you should do in that situation.
Yeah.
You knew that. Oh, and by the way, we totally called it, by the way. There's one problem with Purdy, and that is fumbling the ball for some reason. It slips out of his hands. We both called it. We knew that was going to fucking happen at least once, and it fucking did, dude. Called it 110%. He tries to do a pump fake, but slips out of his hands. I think that Purdy looks chill, but I do think there's a sweat factor with his hands. Because if you notice, like sometimes he rubs his hands on his towel,
or
like
gloves,
all the fucking time.
Or tape or gloves.
Yeah, he needs to get like a product that dries his hands or something. He needs to do that because clearly he may not look nervous, but his hands say something else. You can tell if you ever watch this game, so you pay attention. Before he snaps the ball, he wipes his hands all the fucking time.
Yeah.
All the time. All right, so some of these questions. They said Thursday versus Rams for Dre. Okay. All right. So they're not, doesn't sound like they're rushing him back if he's limited in practice. Ask Papa J what tab he went to in settings to see who you hid in chats. I didn't hide anybody. What do you think of Kyle's "I'm not God" quote when asked if Bosa would play? I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny. I thought it was classic Kyle Shanahan. And it's true. Like, you're not like, there's just certain things that are outside of your control where you can't just be like God and be like, okay, there it is. This is how it works. It's just, and also you can't see the future, etc. I thought it was classic. I thought it was like you said, Strawberry. It's classic Kyle Shanahan, and I like that.
It is, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's witty.
Look at the Packers last night. Very young team. It's time to look at our old aging team. Big contracts not producing our players. We talked about that earlier about players that we should get rid of. And honestly, I don't see it. We already paid him. Go 49ers as well. Go 49ers. Purdy will be fine. I think Purdy will be fine too.
I do too. I just, I thought that I didn't want to rush him back from a shoulder injury. So
he was 100% though. I'm forever going to disagree with that. If he's 100%, just keep playing. Will San Francisco always be the number one target for the new QBs every offseason? There's speculation about Rodgers, Cousins, and Darnold. I want off the QB carousel. It's not going to end until Purdy or another quarterback wins the Super Bowl. It's never going to end. Every team who Dak Prescott deals with it, even Jalen Hurts deals with it. Every quarter, there's always going to be some sort of QB carousel idea out there that someone's going to throw out no matter what until that person wins a Super Bowl. So, or if you're Matthew Stafford, one of the two. I guess he won a Super Bowl, but even before that, people loved him. But yeah, I don't like the Rodgers. He sucks. Rodgers is not better than Purdy. Cousins is definitely not better than Purdy, and Darnold is not better than Purdy. So if anyone's saying Rodgers, Cousins, Darnold, do not know the state of Rodgers, do not know the state of Cousins, do not know the state of Darnold. I understand that Darnold beat Brock Purdy in the 49ers, but you can't just be like, sorry. Winning a game is not a quarterback stat. Like, those are not a quarterback stat. It's a team stat. Okay, you can win games with a trash quarterback. You can do that. So I don't think it's something you should be do that. I have no problem with Brock
Purdy's been better.
Yeah, Purdy's just been better all the way. Rodgers Ross, he's right. He needs a shimmy towel, something. Ask Papa J where he says he wants to see who he has hit. I don't know. I understand. I don't think he could do that, but the only person so far I've only banned one person, which you guys all saw today. My very first ban. So all right, so we talked about season's over, Kyle Shanahan trade. We just talked about the injuries of Jordan Mason and CMC. On the bright side, we're going to see more of Isaac Guerendo, brother. We're going to see a lot more Isaac Guerendo out there. Possibly Israel Abanikanda. Honestly, Abanikanda has such a huge potential there. He could be a very good running back. I'm actually kind of excited to see.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm excited to see more Guerendo. So
yeah, he's got a clutch factor. I keep saying that he's got a clutch factor. Yeah,
and he has a lot of football smarts too.
Yeah, he's got a lot of football smarts. Larry Krueger wanted to use him as a fullback. Did you know that? He's a content creator on here. He was like, he should be a fullback. Yeah, funny. Before the season started, he's like, I think
running a 4-3-3 as a fullback.
Hold on.
What'd you do?
He just said I was shit, so I just banned him. I can't. Some people are stuff, but yeah, I do think that Isaac Guerendo has a clutch trait. I do think that Isaac Guerendo has a lot of potential there, and thank God we didn't use him as fullback because he's just not that type of guy. But like, if you can, like, I'm not saying that Isaac Guerendo is CMC or Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley or anything like that, but they all have clutch factors. They have a clutch trait, and Guerendo has a clutch trait. So I think we should roll with Isaac Guerendo. Like, I'm super excited to see what he can do, build off that, become a starting running back for this 49ers team, especially if CMC can't come back from this injury, because it's crazy. PCL, Achilles, tendonitis, whatever, all that. That's a lot for a running back. Why isn't Rodgers to Dolphins a thing? They haven't won a Super Bowl, have tons of talent, but Rodgers to San Francisco is a thing? That's true. Yeah. I think they just paid Tua. I think that's what it is.
Well, Tua needs to freaking retire.
Yeah, he's right.
Well, his brain's mush now, so he probably can't think. I mean, honestly, his brain's so screwed, so he probably can't think straight anyways.
Yeah, he's already doing the changing his hair color thing. He's already looking a little bit like, and he's been a little bit combative
in press conferences. Poor kid. I mean, you just really think about it. I mean, somebody needs to step in and just kick him out of the NFL. I mean, that CTE is a real thing, and he's definitely there. I mean,
I think he's got it. I think he's already got it. Because if you go and I think someone made an edit where they showed like old Tua and then like the recent interviews with Tua, they're night and day. Yeah, he's kind of fumbling his words a little bit more, which is part of CTE. And I'm not saying changing your hair color makes you have CTE, but like when you do stuff different, start acting funky and stuff.
Yep.
There's signs, right? And I feel like Tua is giving off those signs. He's still functional as a person, but you can tell that if he takes another fucking hit like he did, he might not live.
Yeah.
He might not only live.
Why?
He might be Antonio Brown.
I just don't understand it. Yeah, the poor guy. He just needs to be done.
Yeah.
So
Strawberry says, I doubt Abanikanda plays this week. I know. I don't mean like he should play, but like I think he's going to get reps throughout the year in practice, etc. Where like next year you'll hear about him. You'll hear about him in the off season, right? And see what he potentially got.
I don't know if he'll be there. I don't know if he'll be there next season. We'll see.
Oh, we have his. We inherited his contract because he was rookie.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we have until 2026. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's potential where we won't even draft a running back.
I wonder if they'll put him on the practice squad, though.
We'll see. We picked him up on waivers, though.
Oh, did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it all, so I didn't even pay attention to it.
So you should go look at his highlights if you ever have a chance, dude. He actually looks like something of like a Breida or something that Kyle Shanahan can definitely use and turn into an elite running back.
We'll see.
Karen, I agree. Rodgers in San Francisco will always be just a thing. Tom in San Francisco, but at the same time, it will work out just like Tom in San Francisco. Acting out of character for sure. Yeah, I mean, like, the 49ers is a huge franchise. They've been contenders for most of the years with Kyle Shanahan, and there's too many people doubting Purdy right now until he wins a Super Bowl, where every quarterback is going to be linked to San Francisco no matter what. Fucking Kirk Cousins, who just signed a contract, is being linked to him. Rodgers, who's 110% washed, is going to be linked to him. I wouldn't be surprised at some point someone says, hey, we should go get Russell Wilson, or we should get Jared Goff. Like, there's going to be something like that. It's going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, Strava, there you go. Yeah, we just said that. Yeah, for sure. He's going to get picked up off waivers. So we're going to have him until 2026, I believe. And we'll actually have that. And I don't think that gives room to not draft or pick up a running back next year and focus more on other positions. So I kind of like that. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Yeah. Not to focus on running backs this offseason.
Oh, Karen, I hate Aaron Rodgers. I would not want, even if Aaron Rodgers is the same guy, I would not want him on my squad, dude. That dude's a cancer.
He's arrogant.
Yeah, he doesn't take responsibility. Take off the field issues off, like all of his weird shit that he does off the field. Like him as a leader, like what Poggy's pretty much saying there, he's just not that guy.
He's a cancer.
He's a cancer. He's a problem. And even if he was his old self, like he was in Green Bay, he would just be a cancer to the rest of the locker room. And I wouldn't be for that. And I don't want the rest of the players. I don't want to see CMC high on ayahuasca. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Don't want him getting secondhand ayahuasca. But that's just me. I hate Aaron Rodgers with a passion. So, all right. So let's go ahead and jump over to the predictions now. We just talked about everything possible. 49ers injuries. We just got done through talking about Kyle Shanahan. Brock Purdy, should we keep him? 110%. Oh, we didn't talk about that. Do you think we should sign Brock Purdy?
Yeah. I thought we already touched that.
Did we talk about that?
I thought last week we were already.
It's just the talk again is what I'm trying to get. Like,
I mean, he's earned his contract over the years. I mean, this season's a fluke, like we've already talked about. I mean, all the pieces that are missing, everything. I mean, yeah, I think it's just the whole season's a reflection of all the things that have happened to the 49ers as a whole, and it's no one individual's fault. So you can't hold Brock Purdy accountable. You can't say, oh, it's Kyle Shanahan's, it's John Lynch's fault. I mean, everything that's happened are just things that have happened to the team as a whole, and it just sucks for them, for us as the fans, but also the organization. So, I think he gets his contract. I mean, you got to pay him. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. So yeah, you pay the man.
And what really good?
I mean, I don't see us replacing him. I don't know, unless you could, trade and get somebody, Patrick Mahomes, as much as I don't like him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, just sign the man and get him his contract, get him his dues, and then start building around him, get him protection, and
protection is big, and that's something that's you and I have been worried about for years, ever since Brock Purdy's like that's been last year. We should draft more offensive linemen. Year before that, we should draft more offensive linemen, and we didn't do that. We completely ignored it. Thought back off offensive linemen could do the work. I just don't. So like, look at it this way. So let's say that Brock Purdy, you don't think Brock Purdy's that great. He's actually just a mid quarterback. He's top 15 or whatever. You don't want to. Like the option in that scenario would be to draft the running back and have him learn behind Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan anyway at that
quarterback.
Point. Yeah. You don't want to waste a first round draft pick on a quarterback right now and then move on for Brock Purdy. And then you just go through growing pains anyway with that rookie. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, even Josh Allen had a terrible year. So like what you need to do is like, this was what happened to Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. You know what Bill Belichick did? He drafted the quarterback all the fucking time.
Yeah, he drafts quarterbacks every season. Yeah, you want to have somebody to back up that quarterback in case you never know what's going to happen to a quarterback. One big hit away from their season ending. So, yeah, you want to have somebody there to back them up. You want to have that Brock Purdy to come in and replace Brock Purdy. I mean, that's what he did with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? I mean, you're like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's down. And then who was her backup to Jimmy Garoppolo? I forgot. Oh, Trey Lance. Yeah, he had our number one draft pick,
well,
right?
That works out.
To spend all that money. And I remember telling you, I hated that. I did not, you and I did not like that. We were talking about all the other potential picks we could have got. Turned out all of them were a bust. And, and then we got Brock Purdy and he came in. He's played stellar. I mean, his last 2 seasons. I mean, yeah, he played a half a season. But I mean, his QB rating's been top rating. I mean, his percentage has been in the top rates. So this season's been off. But I mean, you can account for everything that's gone wrong for the 49ers this season. So you got it. You kind of have to realize that every quarterback's not going to have the greatest season. And you can go back to even Tom Brady and, Joe Montana, any quarterback, and pick a season or two and go, wow, that was a crap season. They didn't have the best season.
Not who they were in the end.
And that's not who they were in the end. And, so you got to go based off what you've seen. And he's been greater. He has a higher percentage of winning and being greater than he has of. I'm not even saying this is losing because he's still throwing more touchdowns. He still has a pretty good rating, even though it's a little low. His completion percentage is still pretty high. So, I mean, it's not like.
And some people kind of come back on some of these comments that people are making right here. I kind of want to come back to this. The content creators are starting early on the Brock contract retro. Even Larry has turned on Brock. It's just because everyone's caught up in this fucking year. And it's so nuts to me that suddenly one bad year where things that are not even Brock Purdy's, literally wide receivers are last in separation, dude. What do you expect him to fucking do? Not to mention the offensive line is fucking terrible. Like you are holding this guy to such an extreme standard that he's supposed to be Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen or whatever it may be. Even Josh Allen needed weapons, dude. He needs things to go right for him.
He's throwing to wide receiver. He's throwing to rookie wide receivers. He has running backs that Jordan Mason. Yeah, he's been playing great. Jordan Mason has been playing great, but then you brought in CMC, who didn't produce anything this season,
which hurt Brock Purdy in those games.
Which no discredit. Like I said, I'm not ever trying to take anything away from CMC. That's a direct reflection of Kyle Shanahan being an idiot, not using Jordan Mason like he should have. Kept using Jordan Mason and just slowly implementing CMC back into football because he wasn't in football shape. I mean, it's just the way of the freaking game. And, Shanahan's such an idiot.
Kyle Shanahan preaches that whoever the hot hand is, and that's why we keep playing CMC.
And he didn't do it. Yeah.
And now this year, when we have the hot hand who's Jordan Mason and not CMC, it's like, oh, well, we got to play CMC because he's our best player. Mm-hmm. Which one is it, man? Like, you got to pick one. You can't just be like, oh, well, this year it's the hot hand, so that's my excuse. This excuse, oh, we got to get CMC going. Jordan Mason has 5.9 yards a fucking carry, dude. That is like insanely good, bro. That means if he runs it twice, most likely he's going to be first down.
Right, yeah. So, the guy was such a beast this season. But, yeah, I mean,
I have a dog inside, so go ahead.
Back to Purdy. I mean, it's people turning on him for one mediocre season, I would say. It's not even a bad season. I mean, it's a mediocre mid-season, let's say, a mid QB season. But it's like, you got to look at what's happened around him. It's not just the quarterback's fault. I mean, throwing it to people he hasn't build a rapport with. I mean, you had Parcells or what's her wide receiver's name? Ricky Parcells. That was Ricky Parcell, right? Parcell? What am I?
Pearsall?
Pearsall. Why am I saying Parcells? Purcells. I don't know. Anyways, but who was shot and was out that whole time, and he didn't get to build a rapport with them. And then you get Ayuk, who's being a baby about his contract, and he doesn't even get to do anything with him. It's like, and Debo hasn't produced anything this season.
Not
So
jet
you really
sweeps, not screens, nothing.
You have George Kittle. You had George Kittle, and that was it. He had one player, and that was it. Oh, Juwan Jennings. That's right. I'm sorry.
I keep forgetting about him too, dude.
So do I. But he's our, he's the best wide receiver on our team.
110%.
I mean, I would rather have gave him Ayuk's contract, to be honest. But
true. Even though he's not like the fast separator guy, he's clutch.
He's clutch. He's better than Ayuk. Anyways, so you look at it and what has he had to play with? It's like everything has been completely changed for him. So you have a young quarterback that has not a ton of an experience playing in the NFL. He is Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. Wasn't even supposed to be playing technically in the NFL, right? And he's put up stellar stats for us the last 2 seasons and has kind of somewhat of a mid-tier season. And we're saying, oh, he sucks. He can't play in the NFL anymore. No, he can. It's just a bad season overall as a team. I'd say the same thing about Boza. He's having a shit season. Debo's having a shit season. Ayuk had a shit season. Let's get rid of Ayuk. I mean, say the same thing about every single player on that team. Except for Fred Warner. Fred Warner's still having a great season. Fred Williams having a shit season. But I mean, let's say CMC, shit season. Let's get rid of him. He's not a great player. So, I mean, you talk about Brock Purdy, you got to talk about all the players around him that aren't producing either. So, and they've been injured. I know they've been injured, but it's a result of their injuries that aren't why he can't produce those numbers. They're not able to be out there and help him produce what he did last season, right? So, I mean, it's just a direct reflection of what he has around him and what he doesn't have around him. And you got a bunch of rookies out there that don't know how to run routes, don't know how to create separation, and don't know how to catch an NFL thrown ball because the ball's thrown a lot harder in the NFL.
He throws a catchable ball.
And players talk about it all the time, how hard it is to catch a ball in the NFL because it's thrown so much harder than it is in college. So, it's just there's so many variables there that people that are turned on Brock Purdy are just idiots and they don't know anything about football, in my opinion.
They're not holding the same standard to the rest of the team that's also been playing like shit worse than Brock Purdy's. I love what you said. That's 110% true. Like what you're saying about Brock Purdy, you guys say about the rest of the team then everyone else should just fucking go away. Everything that they did years prior doesn't mean a fucking thing. Okay. Yeah. It just suddenly means that this is who they are right now, which is fucking wild. You need to see what you can do consistently. I totally agree with that. Larry has gone to the dark side. He has turned on Brock and Kyle when he used to defend them. Maybe he's going to clicks from me. I haven't seen him talk shit about Brock.
I don't even know who Larry is, but I would just say, look at players like Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, right? Both of them. I mean, they were turned on by their teams, and now look at them. Jared Goff's probably taken the Lions to the Super Bowl. Matt Stafford took the Rams to the Super Bowl, won Super Bowl. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so
you don't need Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen to win a Super Bowl.
No, you don't. But I mean, I think
you were holding to that standard though. For some reason.
I think Brock Purdy's still a top 10 quarterback. I think he's still. I think he's better than. He's not going to be a Patrick Mahomes or anything like that. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is a unique player.
He's like a top.
Yeah, he's an odd quarterback. I can't stand the guy, but he's an odd quarterback. So
yeah, I think that I totally agree with that. I don't understand why if Larry is turning on Brock here, that's kind of shocking to me, really, just because he believed in him. And I feel like the pressure is just there now that I think about it because it's his contract year. So it's like, hey, should you even pay this guy because of this one season? But like we keep saying, man, it's just It's things that are outside of his control. It's things where players are not helping him, where literally he's working with like third string practically wide receivers. Debo's not the same. Ayuk's out. He wasn't the same prior. Pearsall, I want to defend Pearsall for a second here. This is bullshit. I think it's total bullshit what people are saying about Pearsall. Like, oh, he's a bust. We shouldn't have drafted him. It's not fair. The man got fucking shot. Okay, not only did he get shot, he missed 5 games or something like that, 5 or 6 games or whatever. And that's when he just started getting reps. He did not get reps in the preseason. He did not get reps in training camp. He got none of those. He was injured. Remember, he had that shoulder injury. So
you can't.
We don't know what Pearsall is yet, and this is not a fair season to judge Pearsall and who he is. Literally, next year, he could be a top 5, top 10 wide receiver, and everything that everyone is saying right now would be bullshit. So it's just like you're giving this guy not a fair shot. You're not sitting there saying, yeah, I understand that, hey, we should have drafted this guy first, a right tackle. But let's be realistic. Let's say we drafted a right tackle or a D end. Would that have fucking mattered this year? Would that have changed anything at all? Would we have 10 wins right now? No, we wouldn't. So I don't think it's fair to be like Pearsall's a bust when it's just his rookie year. The man got shot and did not start getting reps until week 6 of this season. I understand that he's not separating. I understand that he doesn't look that great. But to judge him on this season is wild to me, dude.
You got to give the guy a few seasons. I mean, usually it takes 2 to 3 seasons till you can really judge a player. I mean, you have sophomore slumps, and you can almost say this is like Brock Purdy's sophomore season because it's his second full season. But I mean, it's not even, I would say, a slump.
It's not even that. It's not his fault.
No, he's still playing pretty good for what he's working with. So, I mean, he's throwing a good ball. It's not like, but I mean, yeah, he has had some off games. He hasn't looked that great, but I mean, it's probably a lot of trust in the players and things like that. So it's just, anyways, I don't know. I can't, people are talking about Larry. I don't know who he is, so I can't say anything.
It's just content creators. There's like some content creators. What I think is, but this, let me just talk to the people who know Larry is real quick. You got to understand that Larry, I'm not trying to defend Larry here, but the people he surrounds himself with are people who talk shit about Brock. They talk shit about the 49ers. He hangs out with Grant Cohn, right? He hangs out with, he talks to Jesse. He talks to a lot of people that bash on the 49ers. And when you got a group of when you got an echo chamber happening, at some point, sometimes you'll start to cave. You'll be like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. And then you'll start changing your tune. That's what happens. And I don't think Larry truly thinks that Brock is this bad guy. I don't think that. I just think that at some point, if you hang around certain people who are just beating an idea into you, at some point you'll start to think, okay. And it's pretty much what I remember who said this, but Strawberry. I feel like people turning on him had already made up their mind, and they're just taking advantage of the season to say, see, I was right.
Yeah, of course.
They're completely ignoring everything else or the logic or the realistic of things. And just not being like, okay, this season, I feel like if Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, whatever, would not have saved this season. So what does that mean for Brock Purdy?
Look at the Bengals.
Look at the Bengals, dude.
Get rid of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. It's his fault.
It's all Joe Burrow's fault. I mean,
get rid of him.
Get rid of Joe Burrow now. Exactly, Poggy. Spit, not fire. I just don't think it's fair to take this season in particular. If you thought the 49ers in 2020 was justified to be like, okay, everyone deserves a pass in 2020, why not this season? Why not? It doesn't make any sense to me to just be like, hey, this season is what these players are. Like I said, the only person who we've needed to help, who has opportunities to help Brock Purdy, has been Debo. And he sucks. So it's just like,
disappointment.
You're 110% right, Strawberry. Everyone's taking advantage of, like, see, I was right. Like, as if players don't have slumps, as if there's not a sophomore slump, as if players are not allowed to have a bad year. Just let's see what he can do next year. Like, you can't erase what he did last year and his rookie season. It's just not fair. It's just not fair. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of this Brock Purdy thing. We obviously 100% you and I agree that Brock Purdy deserves a pass. A lot of players deserve a pass this year. And we should just, So we'll move on from that. Let me get through these comments real quick. It's so tough to find a good QB. There are not 32 good ones. I hope Brock gets a big bag. He can't play all three phases. It's a team sport. Burrow's now 4-8. The goalpost always moves for Brock. 110%. I guarantee you, and I love it when people brought this up, it's draftism. Okay. Just because he's a 7th round pick, everyone's like, he can't be that good. He can't be that good. So whatever happens to him, Tom Brady, he had to prove himself like 4 years until he won a Super Bowl. That's when people were starting. Even then, when he won a Super Bowl, people were like, he's a game manager. He's actually not that good. He's just a product of Bill Belichick. That's what happens when you get drafted late. If he was a 1st-round draft pick, people would be praising that motherfucker. Okay? People would be loving that dude.
I'm not big on 1st-round draft pick quarterbacks.
And 1st-round draft pick quarterbacks never fucking work out.
No.
That Patrick Mahomes draft is rare. The same thing with the Josh Allen draft. It's all rare. That doesn't happen all the time. He missed OTAs, all of training camp, preseason, got shot, missed the first 6 weeks of the season. So, yeah, give the guy a break.
Pearsall. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, Pearsall is great. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be great. Get rid of Ayuk.
Get rid of Ayuk as soon as possible.
Ayuk
he might come back with a vengeance.
Go with Ayuk and Samuel. Get rid of him.
Samuel 110%. Ayuk, though, I want to see what, I do think players.
I mean, we can't get rid of Ayuk, obviously, but I'm just.
Yeah, saying, but you'd want to, right? If you could.
Yeah, I love Jennings. I think I'd rather have paid Jennings money and keep Jennings, but
we had contract disputes, shooting players, kids dying, penalties, massive injuries. Brock is out there with the practice squad. Brock always being criticized because of his draft place. Exactly, is what I just said. That's 110% true, man. You guys are on it. Joe Burrow's
he's a system quarterback. I hate that. He's a system quarterback.
He's a system quarterback, and yet you say Kyle Shanahan sucks. I don't understand.
Yeah, system quarterback. That always gets me. System quarterback.
Yeah. So
it's a system. It's a system. Okay.
System can only do so much. We saw Brian Orr. We've seen Nick Mullins. Okay, we've seen CJ Beathard on this. That's not a thing.
System quarterback. So dumb.
Joe Burrow is getting none of the blame in the media. He shouldn't, and Brock is, which is crazy. CJ or Love throw a couple picks, crickets for criticism. They're a second coming. They throw blatantly bad throws, dude, right at defenders. Brock has done that, too, but you're right. They're not being held to that standard as well. It's because he's not a 1st-round draft pick, and it's because people say he can't be that good because you got a 7th-round draft pick. You got a good quarterback and a 7th-round draft pick. That's just it's 110% true.
Does he lead the team in rushing touchdowns this season?
Yeah, he has more rushing. He's like 8 or some shit. I don't know. 4. I think he's at 4 or 5. We don't have that many rushing touchdowns anyway. So that's not. What I'm trying to say is doesn't really say a lot. But all right. So we all agree that the system. Oh, I like what Strawberry just said here. The system hasn't been working this year. He makes tons of plays outside the system.
Exactly.
That's true. He's been making tons of plays.
That's why I hate this whole system quarterback thing. It's so stupid. I hate when people go, "Oh, he's a system quarterback guy." I really hate that. I just don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, it's just not a fair assessment of a player because then you're saying like everything he's doing, all the pressure he has to handle,
the reads he makes, everything else. It's because of the system. It's like, okay.
You think it's a game? You think that the coach has a trait where it makes the quarterback just better, like a video game or
that visor on his thing is just telling him where to throw the ball. Yeah.
Right. I can't tell you how many times Brock Purdy has made dime throws on his back foot because he's being fucking sacked. Okay. Because he's being tackled. He has made multiple plays while he's getting his ass beat. That tells you exactly how good that player is. Like, let's not forget that Jacksonville game where he fucking fell backwards and he threw a dime, right? It was a fucking dot, and he got his ass beat there. He's capable of these plays. So let's get his last comment, and then we'll do the pick'ems, and we'll bounce out of here. Great conversation, guys. This is our 30-minute show. Fantastic. You guys are awesome. The media will always have their golden boys, Pat, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, all first-round draft picks. People like to think real life is like Madden. I know they treat the game, and they treat it like it's Madden, like, oh, I've played Madden, so
yeah, I know football.
Yeah, I should get rid of this quarterback and just draft a new one next year and just upgrade his attributes and make him better.
Because his Madden rating is a 99 means he's a great player.
Right. That's just not how it works, man. You can win Super Bowls with top 10 quarterbacks. You can win Super Bowls heck with a 15th quarterback.
Baltimore Ravens did it with what's his butt?
Joe Flacco. Yeah.
Not even Joe Flacco. There was a one they did it with I can't remember.
In like 2000. I can't remember his name either.
Shoot.
I know what you're talking about though.
It was all
I know Techno Ball.
Yeah.
Says Papa J. All right. The pick'ems. Let me bring them up right now. Share this tab. Guys, not gonna lie, that was a great conversation. That was really awesome. You guys are awesome. All I got before we jump into the pick'ems, though, I just want to say one thing. Don't cave to your emotions and don't cave to these other people that are creating an echo chamber to you. If you believe in Brock Purdy, believe in Brock Purdy. If you know this season is a wash, if you know this season is justifiably bad, where you could be like, okay, well, there's just so many things where you could be like, okay, of course they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. If you told somebody this happened in a season 5 years from now, they'll be like, okay, well, that makes sense. So don't let this year like fuck with you and say, hey, this is what this team is. It's not fair. So all I ask of you guys as fans is just kind of reel it in.
The team, yeah. It's not the team. It's just what happened to the players as a whole. So
yeah. All right. Pigskin. ESPN Pigskin. Such a weird name. Green Bay Packers at the Lions. I would have picked the Lions anyway, so that kind of works out. But
they're dealing with a lot of defensive injuries too.
They do, dude. They got some terrible injuries. They're performing, bro. That defensive coordinator, I wonder who that is. That guy deserves some credit for sure. But also, people love Dan Campbell, where I think they would just fight for him. You know, like I'm not saying I agree with his aggressiveness all the time, but if I was a player, I'd fucking love it. Like I love his, All right, going into predictions, but before we go into that, we have to go into the previous year. I win, not mirror, but last week I win. I won. I'm back. I was 4-7. Poggy was 7-4. He's choking that lead so hard right now. I'm coming back. I'm 6-7, and we're still thinking of punishments. What was the punishment you didn't like? I forgot. What was the punishment we thought of?
I don't even remember.
All right, so I remember this. All right, so there was the "Here Comes the Boom" dance. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's a TikTok thing. That's the Costco guys. I'm sure
I don't know what it is. No, I don't even know what it is. It just sounds.
You don't even know what it is. I'm not going to do it because it should have been a punishment. But like everyone who knows, who watches TikTok or whatever, would know what it is. And one of the punishments I thought was that someone needs to sing the song "Here Comes the Boom," and we bring the boom and do the dance too. I thought that would have been a good punishment, but we're not doing that apparently. What was the other one? The cinnamon challenge. You don't want to die. So
we don't want to watch somebody die on stream. Yeah.
What was it? The lemon one. There was another one I brought up too. I can't remember what it was, but
eat a whole lemon.
Eat something spicy or something like that. Just something that creates like a reaction. It has to be something we don't like. It's something we both have to agree on that obviously we don't want to do, but we have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So. Brady says every QB is a system QB and has to run the system. I like that. It's pretty much saying like not system QB is not.
Well, that pretty much sums it up. Yeah, there's no such thing as a system QB because they're all running the system. Yeah, I mean, it's irrelevant.
That's true. They're still running the plays that the coach calls.
They're all system QBs, but it's not a system QB. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Getting to the predictions. Let's do this. Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans.
I think Tennessee.
That's a tough. Oh, yeah, no, Trevor. That's right, because he got knocked the fuck out. Titans. Yeah, I agree with Titans. Where's my pen?
You're going to write down the ones that we disagree on, right?
Yeah, I forgot my pen though. You got a pen on you?
No.
Let me go. Let me grab my pen.
Good luck. Don't get lost. Don't spill your pea cup.
All right. Okay. Strawberry says Titans. Spitting off fire. I totally agree. Totally agree. Jets at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I got Dolphins too.
Screw
Aaron, that team's done.
Worst offense in the NFL.
Worst offense, possibly worse. At this point, they would be probably the worst defense in the league if they did.
They still had solid leftovers. Yeah, they didn't have solid leftovers.
Yeah. So Dolphins is Falcons at Vikings.
Vikings.
I think this is a trap game. I think I know the Falcon. I know Kirk Cousins' ass. I know Kirk Cousins threw terrible fucking interceptions in that game where they easily could have won.
Do it.
I'm gonna go Vikings too. I can't be that dumb. I can't be that gullible. All right, so we got Strawberry says Dolphins. Papa J says Tennessee, Miami, and Vikings. All right, so far we all agree. So far we all agree on everything. I do think that probably not this year, but next year if we do this probably again, that we need to pick an underdog one. So one where we're like 8%. We would have to pick the 8% one, like one game. You know what I mean? Pick an underdog. Mm-hmm. But we'll start that next year since we have already built this rhythm. All right, so Saints at Giants.
Oh man, this is a trap game.
Oh, you got the Giants?
No, Saints.
I got the Saints, dude. I got the Saints as well. Panthers at Eagles. God, I would love the Panthers to win this game.
Yeah, Eagles are gonna win.
Eagles for sure, yeah. Browns at Steelers.
Steelers.
The Browns beat the Steelers last time.
It's not gonna happen again.
Yeah, it's like Vegas at Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
I got the Buccaneers too. This one's huge, bro. Seattle Seahawks at Cardinals.
Didn't we talk about this one? We need the Cardinals to win this one.
We need the Cardinals to win this one.
Yeah, I mean,
well, it's either the Cardinals who had to win the last one, but they would have to lose the next one. So either like whoever won the last one would have to lose this one.
Yeah,
and you have to go with what you want, what you think is going to happen.
Sure, who won
Seattle?
The last one? Seattle won the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because I think Seattle's kind of playing a little bit better than Arizona. But they're in Arizona. Kind of give Arizona the
Eagles. Seems like we all have a good consensus of who we want to go for. I don't think anybody said anything that we disagree with. Arizona. Papa J says Arizona. It's in Arizona, but last time Cardinals only scored 6. Seattle's defense is doing well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Seattle.
Just because not
because I want them to win. I just think they're playing better football right now than Arizona is. I think Arizona they haven't looked out. I think Arizona might be kind of falling off.
Yeah, they might be coming down a little bit.
And I agree. Yeah, Strawberry was talking about, their defense is playing really well, and their running games kind of looking a little bit better, even though it's been like last in the NFL. It looked a little bit better, even though Geno Smith hasn't looked that great. But it is what it is. I think their defense will probably shut down.
Papa J says Arizona. I'm gonna go Arizona too. You got Seahawks. I got Arizona. I think Arizona pulls it off. So
we need Arizona to win anyway. So
yeah, and you think that Arizona's actually truly gonna lose. I think Arizona's actually gonna put up a better fight this time than people think they are. So, so with what I want to happen, and I think Arizona will perform better, I think they get the dub. So yeah. I got Cardinals. Ooh, this one's big. Bills at Rams.
Bills.
I got Bills too. I think it's gonna be a better game. Like it's gonna be actually closer than like, okay, the Rams are not doing very good. Bills are hot. I actually think it's gonna be closer than expected. Believe it or not. I got the Bills, of course. Strawberry's got the Bills. Val says 49ers got to be positive. We got to be positive. We could do it. We could do it. We can make it. Bills 100-0.
Right. They've been playing really good. Bills.
So good, dude. When we played the Bills, honestly, it felt like they didn't even get into their bag. It felt like they were using basic plays. And like if we were truly getting close to them at any point, I feel like they would whip out a good play just to get back.
I feel like they were playing Madden on rookie against us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just gonna use this run out zone play basic one that I have on top of my playbook. So that's what I felt like. Bears at 49ers. This is the over-under. I got to check what the over-under is for this one. Hold on. I actually forgot to do that. Just in case we need a tiebreaker.
What's the
odds? I'm checking right now.
What are we favored by?
It was 2 days ago. I need one that's recent. One that's more recent. All right, this one's 5 hours ago. All right, so the 49ers are favorites by 4. They're favored by 4.
God, that's it.
And the point total is 44.
20
So-
to 24, something like that.
Yeah, with Strawberry, the Bears are not the Bills and Green Bay Packers though. So you kind of hang your hat on that just a little bit though. Like there's more potential.
I know. I'm kind of with Strawberry too. We beat the Bears. No, I think we still beat the Bears, but I mean, I think they're gonna put up points against us because we suck.
Yeah, but the Bears shoot themselves in the foot.
Their offense is terrible. Yeah, their offense is pretty bad. I'm gonna say 17 to 28 Niners. 17. Let's say 17, 20, 31. 31.
Oh
over.
shit! You
Yeah,
think
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna destroy them?
I'm gonna say the over. Yeah, I think it's gonna go over the 44.
You think it's go over the 44? Oh my god. 20. I'm gonna say 24. 24-20. Bears. Sorry, 49ers. I don't want to say Bears. All right. Man, so does if I think it's gonna be 4 points and it's even, what does that mean? Does that pick the under? Because I also think it's gonna be 44 points scored. So how's that? I guess I'll change it. That'll be an over.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Just leave it where it's at because we've only disagreed on one game so far.
That's true.
So,
I'll come back to it if we have to. Yeah, I'll come back to it if we have to.
Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick these next 2 games the same.
Chargers at Chiefs.
I want the Chargers to win, but I think the Chiefs will win.
Didn't they just recently play them? And it was actually a tough fight. It was actually closer than I thought.
It was in September. It was 17 to 10.
I never pick the fucking Chargers too.
I know. I want the Chargers to win, but I think the Chiefs will win. Chiefs came off. Yeah, I think the Chiefs will win.
I'm going to pick the Chargers.
Okay. I'll change mine. I'll pick the Chargers too. Fuck. If you're picking Chargers, I'll pick Chargers too.
Okay. All right.
That way we only disagree on one game.
Okay. Bengals at Cowboys.
Bengals.
Yeah, but that defense is bad, and I do think the Cowboys are taking advantage. I don't think the Cowboys are good as they're performing good for what they got, sure, but they're not going to go to the playoffs.
Their defense and offense is terrible, and the Bengals' offense is pretty good. So
yeah, but the Bengals' defense is bad, and I think the Cowboys' offense is going to take advantage of that. So it might actually be a shootout because Joe Burrow is trying his best to win these games, dude. Yeah, I would say that too. Bengals. I think the only game we disagree on will be the Seahawks one. And that would be the deciding factor, Seahawks versus Cardinals. And that'll be the deciding factor on that one. That is the thing. And if I win, we're tied. And it's fucking tight. Toy like a toiga. All right?
Wait.
It's going to be toy. Chargers will win against the overrated Kansas City Chiefs. That's right, Papa.
I really hope so.
Right, man.
I want them to.
Bengals. We got Bills. Val, hey, I like it. Cardinals. Hey, I like it. 17-10 to Strawberry. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so that is the predictions. You guys got it. It's going to come down to the Seahawks versus Cardinals game, which should be on my TV. So I might actually go live for that game. When is the 49ers game?
Definitely not going to watch that.
When is the 49ers game?
In the afternoon. I think we're the late game, aren't we?
It is at 1:25. So whatever comes on. So if the 49ers are not on, but the Seattle versus Cardinals game is on, I might go live for that one. Just depends on how it goes down. All right, guys. That is the Wolfie and Poggy show. That is the predictions that we got. We're still thinking of the punishment, but most likely, I don't know if you agree, Poggy, it's going to be something spicy or like something sour, like a lemon or something. Something minuscule like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to do anything embarrassing like a dance and sing a song and stuff. So I'm all for it, even if it's content. People will like it, people enjoy it. So I would be for it. But the cinnamon thing, I understand. That makes sense. I think people have died from that. So
yeah, anybody but the Chiefs and Eagles, I agree, Strawberry.
So no 49ers this year. I'm looking for Bills versus Lions Super Bowl. Anybody but the Chiefs and Eagles. Spit, not fire, dude. There's other teams too, like But yeah, I agree. Vikings, Lions, Bills, any team that hasn't won a Super Bowl, pretty much, or just has like one, I'm all for it. Well, except for the Seahawks, of course,
Yeah,
because they only got one Super Bowl.
screw them anyways.
All right. Do you have any final thoughts before we bounce out of here? Any final thoughts you'd like to get off your
Yeah. Go
your
Niners.
chest?
Go Niners.
Go Niners. Go Niners. We're still fighting for the playoffs. There's still a possibility we could do it. But these are must-win games. I do agree. If we lose to the Bears, it's over. If we lose,
Just
to the
don't
Dolphins,
force anybody to play. That shouldn't.
yes,
I don't agree with forcing players to play, especially if there's a possibility that they could injure themselves even longer into
significantly
next
worse.
season.
Yeah, and you're not playing for anything. Like really, like realistically, we're not winning the Super Bowl. Like
We're
if
not
we really
playing for
put
the
it
Super
out there.
Bowl. Yeah.
That expectation. If the expectation is not a Super Bowl, don't force the issue. Right? We can get there, but that's not the expectation. So, all right. We got everything. Val says 49ers, I'm going to stay positive. That's right, man. Stay positive. Stay positive. We can do it. We can do it. All right. It's about belief, not expectation. There's difference. Belief and there's expectation. Two different things. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Papa J, for joining this chat. I appreciate you're an awesome mod, man. Couldn't ask for a better one. Strawberry Rex, you're a cool guy, man. You're super cool, man. I appreciate you and all your opinions, man. Val, love your positivity. Love your support. You're awesome. Who else?
Greg.
What's that?
I had Greg in here.
Greg, love
49er fan.
50-year empty cup 49er fan.
Right.
Karen Hardy, good to see you. Thank you so much. You had some great questions. You had good commentary. I appreciate your comments. 49ers media, of course. I gotta get you on one of these lives, especially one with me and Poggy on it. Like that'd be cool to have like a three. I was about to say a threesome, but like a three people on a live. That'd be kind of cool, kind of a game changer. Samuel, thank you so much, man. You're a cool guy. I appreciate you. Greg, like we said, we talked about Greg already. There was another person up in this bitch. Wasn't there another person?
Sam, you already see Sam.
I already said Samuel. Scott Lacrosse Jr., good to see you. The Glue. I don't remember what we're talking about, but I'm assuming it means we're sticking together kind of thing. I think so, but I'll take it.
We'll take it.
And then, of course, Matthew Ganor. I don't want to say the other way around, but thank you so much. You always come in here with like personal questions. Are you a cop? Just saying.
Tyler, You're not going to win the Chiefs. You're not going to win it. No.
Oh, is Tyler up in here? Hey, Tyler, you just
you're not gonna win it.
Not gonna win it.
You honestly, guys lost to the Bills. I think the Bills are gonna probably beat you guys out, and then I think Bills in Detroit, Bills and Lions.
Yeah. Honestly, though, realistically speaking, I do there's nothing that's telling me the Chiefs won't win it, but I don't want them to win it. Like I know exactly where you're coming from, Poggy. Like, yeah, that's not gonna happen, man. It can't. Okay, they can't be the first team to three-peat. It can't happen. But everything's looking up for you, man. If I was a Chiefs fan, I'd be fucking ecstatic, dude. I'd be the happiest NFL fan in the history of NFL. That's all I'm saying. Thank you guys so much for making this live what it is. This channel is absolutely nothing without you, and you guys make this channel enjoyable. I love doing this, and maybe one day we'll monetize, and this could be my career. Or, just go from there. That's the dream. That's the dream. Poggy can probably retire at some point, which would be awesome. And we can just do this every single fucking day. He's rolling his eyes like, yeah, okay. We just kind of got to believe, right? Got to believe. Manifest. And it can't be done without you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Sub, if you like the content. I make content every single day. I love going live. I love doing this. Thank you guys so much. Like the live. If you hate everything else I do, but this live is awesome and you only like Poggy, but you're like, fuck you to me, then you know what? Take it.
You're a smart person. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a smart person. All right. So thank you guys so much. Like the live. I appreciate you. All love, fam. I'll see you tomorrow. All love. Bang, bang on the gang. Bang, bang on the gang.